Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Lance's Performance Shop, Lone Star, Mopars.com. It's Mopar Monday here, July 8th, and we got a good one for you. This is one of those rare things. No, I'm not gonna say it's July 8th and you see this like in the middle of a snowstorm in February. We're gonna get this one right out, and I'm doing that solely for your benefit. So, what we've got going on, hopefully, you follow KC Tool, or you followed me long enough to know every Independence Day, that's July 4th for the uninclined, KC Tool has a promo going, and it's a pretty cool promo. If you do anything at all, anything, you could buy a 25-cent bit, okay? You could literally come in and get like a 50mm 2-inch number 2 Phillips power bit. Maybe you got like a deck or something you're gonna do. First off, you're gonna get this, which would be the bit of thanks that's still shipping as a number 2 from VIT, so you're getting a free bit with your bit. But whether you do that or you spend $1,000 or anything in between, on Independence Day, if you place an order, you get a bottle opener. And this time around, it was from Stahlwille. Super cool. Let me set that down. I've got some pricing over here we're going to get to in a second. Hopefully the phone will stay live. But last year, it was an insulated phyllo. Very nice looking bottle opener. And the problem I had is, man, I wasn't in that first wave of them, and it took so long for that to come back into stock. Interestingly, there's nothing down here. I was thinking there might have been like a little Easter egg from Stahlwille. That said, a pretty sweet little bottle opener. And again, any purchase on July 4th, Independence Day, nets you that Stahlwille bottle opener. Now, well, that's super cool, and if you did miss out, you'll sadly have to wait until next July 4th. You don't have to wait on this, and this is literally why I'm making this video. And don't worry, there's a tool haul too, so if you're new here, I do timestamps. They're there for your convenience, as are the links. I'll link directly to the seasonals. You can find all these items we're about to cover. Don't make a dime off that. Still not a penny. Not a penny, not a dime, not a dollar. I link that solely for your convenience. So, this, you're thinking like, that's odd. Well, if you haven't seen the ad, you don't frequent the website, which probably means you missed out on the bottle opener, so sorry, but this could be your saving grace. This is the summer 2024 seasonal. I'm cranking this out for you as fast as I can, and it is going to be active from July, I believe, make sure I get this right, July 1st to September 30th. Now, got the glove, got the infield dirt. If we flip it open, these are your tools. Now, you think baseball, you've got what? You got 9 innings, you got 9 batters. You got lots of 9s, right? There's 9 tools that you can actually pick up here. And the way they've done this is kind of something I like. Harbor Freight recently did this with their Icon sale. You buy 1 item, you get 10, 2 items 15, 3 items 20, 4 items 25%. That's kind of what you see here. Obviously not quite as high of a discount, but if you get a single, you buy 1 of these. Let's say that you're established in German tools, but this Hazet ratchet catches you. You haven't, for some reason, tried the HP lineup. You think it's a good deal. Boom, pull the trigger. You're going to save. Well, actually, I guess you don't save, but you get a free baseball. So, right here. Boom, again, buy anything at all on this list, and you're going to get a free baseball. So, if you were to buy 2 of these, let's say you're like, well, hey, you know, I could definitely use another pair of Cobras. Well, now you're on second base. You got a double. So, in addition to the free baseball and the good seasonal pricing on said tools, you're going to get an additional 5% off. But wait, what's this? You say, hey, you know, I want a pliers wrench to throw in my work truck, or I want to go ahead, I've got, you know, a cheap one, and I kind of want to get the real deal. Or maybe you just need another one, or you're like, hey, I'm going to gift that. Well, it's a great time to do it, because that puts you on third with a triple, and you get 10% off. So 10% off your Cobra, your pliers wrench, your long Hazet ratchet, and a free baseball. However, if you go all out, let's say there's 4 items that strike your fancy, so we'll come in and we'll just tack on the set of L keys. Guess what you did? Home run! You got 15% off all those tools, which are already on decent prices, and you still get the free baseball. Now, if we flip this over, you can see free KC Tool baseball, which conveniently is there. Every purchase of one or more seasonal items will automatically include a free KC Tool baseball valued at $7.99. The ball's official size, weight, and feel with a white synthetic leather. Now, what we've got going on, if I run you through this, we're going to have the flyer down there for your viewing pleasure. We're going to start over there with the Cobra. You're looking at a 10-inch Cobra. It is 33% off, so you're looking at $38.33. Keep in mind, that's if you buy it and get your free baseball. If you move over and you add, maybe you're just curious about the Pika markers, right? And you think, what's the catch? You're going to come in and you would spend a pretty penny on that, $65.45. It's not quite as shown here. It comes in a textile case, I think has some refills. It's designed for joiners. Apparently they'd be pretty good to mark on things. You're now up to 5% off. If you move over to the forged wire strippers, always a popular tool, 31% off at $58.35. Again, tack those three together, you're getting 10% off everything. If we move over, you've got your Wera tool checks. Now, this one's important to note because it's not metric, it's not SAE, it's one of each. So this would be your metric, and this would be your SAE. Price point is identical. They're 40% off, as is. If you buy one, if you get the metric tool check, throw in your crotch rocket, put in the glove box of your little commuter car, whatever. If you buy that alone, you get 40% off. And then you get a free baseball. So if you stack it, say that you buy that with the forged wire strippers, now you get 5% off everything. But it gets better. If we go to the side, you've got your pliers wrench. Again, that's kind of the classic dip, not the textured dip. Those clean way easier. I still get the dipped ones if I don't do comfort grip. Not a huge promo there, but $77.84, decent price. And again, if you're able to stack that with other things, you can wind up with up to 15% off. Now, if we move over, we've got the L keys. They're the first, I believe, on the website. It is going to be metric, so sadly there's not an SAE equivalent here. You'd be looking at 38% off for $35. That's a pretty solid buy in and of itself. Again, free baseball if you pull the trigger. If you stack tools, you get more off, right? The next item, kind of a killer deal, really. The Stahlwille 10/8 set. This is going to be their double open end, right? So you don't have a boxed end. You're open on both sides. What does that mean? You're not going to have a 13 millimeter with a 13 millimeter. You're going to have different sizes, so you basically have 2 wrenches in one. And it winds up, it's only 8 pieces. But you go from 6 to 22, which is a pretty good jaunt there. Obviously, that's going to come in one of Stahlwille's famed wrench rolls. You got that going for you. $78.60 would be the price. Obviously, not discounted as heavily as, say, the Wera stuff, but it is there. And again, if you go Imperial SAE and the ratchet and then throw on those wrenches, 15% off everything, including the wrenches. So if you're scoring at home, you're like, okay, we got Wera 1, Wera 2, Wera 3, Knipex 4, 5, Stahlwille 6, Knipex pliers wrench 7, you got a Hazet 8. What's going on? Well, there's actually a couple more items. You can buy this. If, for whatever reason, there's nothing, you've got it all. We'll just go that route. You don't need it all, or maybe you don't have the joiner set, and you're like, I'd like to try it, but that's a little spendy. You can buy the baseball. You're going to be looking at $7.99. You can also pick up a Raglan, a 3/4 sleeve, thinking like 1970s, 1980s baseball. Pretty cool little setup, $25, which is a reasonable price. And the thing is, as best I understand, those actually stack too. Now, the big heavy hitter up here, your bat of the bunch, that's going to be your Hazet. This is not a 916. This is a 916 HPL. The HP, you're like, okay, yeah, I know, hyperfine, 92, you can tell. What's the L? Long. This is a long iteration. 32% off for $176.83. I might have screwed that up for some of you because I pulled the trigger on that, and I think it was the last one in stock. So here's what I did. I always tell you, don't just preach this stuff. I practice what I preach, right? No hypocrisy here. So if I'm coming in here and I got a baseball, you think I bought that? No. I got it for free. So how did I do it? Well, let's go ahead and cover that. First thing first, we have got the Hazet 916 HPL in all of its glory. This is something I was aware of, and I didn't pull the trigger. Why did I not pull the trigger on this ratchet long ago when I learned of it? Quite frankly, because, well, you know, why would I be interested in it? Well, this is like my favorite half-inch drive ratchet ever. It's the Hazet 916 HP. And if you're thinking like, hey, I've got one of those, but it has a quick release, that would be the HPS. Same ratchet, just with a quick release. This little guy has been fantastic to me. That's why it's filthy. I absolutely love it. Smooth as can be, and ridiculously strong. When these came out, their claim to fame wasn't, you know, like, ooh, the back drag, or ooh, you know, they're so luxurious. It was, this is the strongest ratchet in the world. Has that changed? Not that I know of, but regardless, I love that thing, and that's why I have so many Hazet ratchets. And this, you think would be, dude, why wouldn't you pick that up? You can get the same thing, but in a longer form for better leverage, you know, and that one kind of looks short. You know, what is it, 10 inches or something? That's going to clock in about 10 and a half. What's the metric equivalent to that? I don't really care. Somewhere north of 250 millimeters. But the reason this was never high on the priority list is we have the 916 HP LG. You're thinking, LG? Well, what's the deal there? So L is long. What's the G? Like giant? Possibly so, because if you take a gander at it, you're thinking like, hey, that looks like it's the same ratchet here, huh? What's the deal? What's up with that collar? Well, if you forgot, this is their adjustable, okay? And it is going to allow infinite adjustments up to this point. This is quite a long half-inch now, right? We went from a modest length, and it's packing a punch. It extends. So we're going to clock in here. I'll call that 2 feet. I know you can't see the tape measure. We'll just roll with it. It's very close to 24 inches. So somewhere between max extension here, if for some reason you just have had terrible experiences with extendable ratchets, maybe it's a Harbor Freight thing from the mid-90s or something. If you've had trouble, you're traumatized, you don't want to do that, you gotta have something fixed, you say, man, no way, I'll be reefing on that, get me something better. That's where this would come in. 916 HPL, again, this sucker is available. Sadly, I don't think we have a piece of history. This one is sealed nicely, and unless we see some dirt from the baseball field, I don't think this was the star of the KC Tool Show there. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, you don't follow them on social media, when I have that linked back to the seasonal, you can go on there and you will see it looks like Colin and another guy got to take a little field trip and film some B-roll. That's literally, this is not Photoshop, those are actual German tools in the dirt covering home plates. So this is now free, and I don't know that they make a quick release iteration of this. This is the Hazet 916 HPL, very nice in hand. Everything I know to come and expect. Again, the selling point here is really just a solid, longer iteration of what you know and love. It's not massive. It's going to clock in at 16. Some of you might have preferred to see something around the 18-inch mark. Keep in mind, I think that's where they would have the LG. You can sort of dial that sucker in. If I just sort of set this here to try to line these handles up for you. First and foremost, pay attention to this one and this one. They're clean. That one is filthy, and for that I do apologize. But basically, your form factor on the LG, it is identical at the 16-inch mark, give or take. So you get an additional 8 inches of adjustability with that one. Sadly, it is not on the seasonal, but Like I said, if you already have this and you love it, or maybe you have the 916 HP, or you could have, who knows, maybe the 8816, the 3/8 iteration was on tool of the day, and you think, man, I love these, I can't wait for another deal. Going this route would nest you a extended length 916 HP. So again, basically, what did I say, 10 and 3/4, something like that. 10 and a half, and then again 16. So really, really nice length there, in my opinion. That, believe it or not, kind of completes my Hazet lineup, which I'm thrilled about. Sadly, I had everything perfect in my drawer. I'd even like laid out my tool organizers and everything, and now I have to nest this guy between the HPS and this one, and that's gonna skew everything down and then get into Stahlwille territory, and something's gonna have to move. So I'll cross that bridge when I get there, I guess. But you're thinking like, okay, well, you know, so you bought that and you got a free baseball, and you did it on July 4th, getting the bottle opener, and you got the freaking free bit of things. Cool, great haul. We're not done. Why would we abandon an additional discount? The answer is we wouldn't do that. So if I turn around here, I kind of think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to put this set in the Challenger, which I'm not talking 70-74, I'm talking, you know, modern. So in the Mopar 10, I think this is going to become a wrench set that's just there in my cheap little Cobalt toolbox. I think I'm going to roll with these. And what is it? Again, it is the Stahlwille. Here's their updated packaging and stickering and everything. Motor 10, great set for a road set, right? There it is. Some of you will notice something, and some of you will love it, and some of you will hate it. And I'm not gonna lie, it's the logo. It's sleek, it's streamlined, it's subtle, a little stealthy. I miss the green and white. If you haven't seen a previous iteration of these, it's the same textile, it seems like the same fabric and everything, but this logo, they've done this with all their branding. They got rid of like the green, and I loved the green. So I totally appreciate this. I can see what they were doing. This is one of those things I almost wish like they would let people pick. I realize that'd be a little cumbersome, but like even keeping old stock or something. I'll try to remember to grab a wrench roll and kind of show you. Nothing wrong with this, looks great. I kind of liked it the way it was. You know, so we've settled into a Stahlwille rebranding phase, if you will. So if you're not familiar with these, great Velcro, assuming they haven't changed anything. We'll open this up, roll her out, and there she is. Got, again, same streamlined, smaller logo. These wrenches, we will quickly go through them. I've showcased these many times. You got a 22 and a 20. And that's going to be your big wrench. Your downsize, 19 and 18. That is nice, the 18, especially like if you're maybe in a modern truck. 17 and 16. Can't go wrong with 17, 19 being separate. All right. 14, 15 is on the next one. 13 and 12, yes, you do get a 12. Then we've got a 10, 11. The 11, if you're like, I'll never use that, think about it, and it'll cross over with 7/16. So if you have like a battery, that's the old school deal, and it's connected like quarter 20, you need a 7/16. The thing has a little fuzz on it from acid. You could possibly fit the 11. Then we've got an 8 and a 9, and then we have a 7 and a 6. So this is legitimately 6 to 22 with no skips. We've also got 2 smaller pouches over there if you wanted to add something else. Maybe a little pick set, a file, a spare key, who knows. And we'll grab the largest wrench possible for your viewing convenience. Open end, 22. Flip it, open end, 20. If we look right here, you can see Stahlwille Motor 10. Again, this is how Stahlwille does things. I love their wrenches. My only knock, this is an open box 13. That's like their standard size. It would say 13 here. And you're like, well, you're never going to confuse that. You know that's not 13 mil. What about when you get to a 13, right? Or you get it like a 14 or 12 or an 11, somewhere in that range. Just minor things, and like their series 14. Same type of a deal. That's really my only knock I could even give. Backside, you got chrome alloy steel, and of course you got Germany there. These are beautiful. They are thin. They're not made thin, like intentionally. This is how these have been, and they always will be. Fantastic feel in hand, super lightweight. A lot of companies make thin wrenches that you pay a lot of money for, and I'm not sure that they're this thin. And they're probably not comfortable, and you could get a very, very high quality wrench set for not much money from Stahlwille, who is known for their wrenches, and possibly save money. And if you don't, if it's in the same ballpark, is your current cheap thin wrench going to give you a free baseball? Something to think about. Now, with the HPL, we cleared the $100 threshold, and you're thinking like, German tool sticker pack, cool, get to it. Well, here's the deal. As I've told you, again, we've got a whole backlog of videos. I think I've released maybe 103 or 4, and I've recorded through like 120 something. They're sitting there waiting to be released. Right here, German tool sticker pack, which you can still buy standalone if you missed the boat on those things. Most of you probably have tons of them by this point in time. But what they've done now, if you clear that $100 threshold, $75 is free shipping, $100 gets you the mystery sticker. And it's literally one sticker. It's holographic. You do get a checklist in each one, at least here initially. And look at that. That's not bad, right? So what we have here is the checklist. I don't know that I had that. Not quite. I think it's like Oschenkopf or something similar to that. It's like the forestry axe type stuff, hatchets, arm of Gador. They have cool little lumber-like pencils. It's almost like tree bark or stump or something, but I'm not sure we had that one, so I'll check my master checklist and go to town. But again, if you're seeing this and you think, man, you know, I really want a free baseball and a free bit of thinks, I'm salty about the bottle opener, if you buy this and you toss on the bottle opener, which yes is available for standalone purchase, if you hit that threshold of $100, you will get a mystery sticker. And you're sitting here and you're thinking like, okay, cool, you know, so great wrenches, ratchet to kind of fill a void. But truth be told, I kind of was hoping at some point in time that'd be like tool of the day, and I'm like, yeah, because otherwise it's sort of hard to justify it. when you have the LG, right? If you didn't have the LG, it's like, sweet, you know, I love that ratchet, I wish I could get a little more leverage on it. There's your long version. However, the Stahlwille wrenches and the Hazet LG, or L I should say, that's 2 items, and that gets us 5%, so wouldn't we like to have the full discount? And the answer is heck yeah. So what did I do? Well, we came in and we have item number 3, which I do believe, I could be wrong here, but I think if I remember my ticket right, I think this counts. I picked this up. This is the Raglan t-shirt. I'm going to take this sucker in, and man, it's hard for me to wear white at work. I'll wind up looking like a grease ball in no time at all. But again, if you aren't familiar with these, it's kind of like a 3/4 sleeve. Right, so that's down there at your waist. There's the KC Tool logo. I will tell you, these are limited edition. Probably only good through the seasonal. I'd imagine if they have any extra, they'd sell them, or you know, maybe throw them in if you had a big order type of a deal. But if you want one of these, again, limited, act fast. It looks like they are going to be Augusta brand sportswear made in Mexico. Again, I know some people are really picky. You know, if it's not Gildan, you're not going to like it, or if it's not, what's the district line, something or another. This one is Augusta. It feels fine to me. I'm not super picky as long as things fit. And the great thing, the little tag looks like it's a tearaway. My childhood and notorious, like the tags would itch. So we've got that, and you think, cool, you got a triple. Here's the deal. I didn't really need anything else. I've got a video coming up on Pika. Maybe we'll expedite that one too. But this was sort of like an additional bonus purchase. I'm set on pliers wrenches. I'm set on L keys, especially metric. I've got the forged wire strippers. Don't need another pair of Cobras. You're sitting here like, you've never brought in a tool check, moron. No, I haven't. And I just don't know if I would like get good usage out of those. I can see the benefit of them, especially like if I drove like a little import car. I think the metric one would be a no-brainer. I think they make a lot of sense, like if you were mountain biking type of a thing, that would kind of cover your bases. I've never been able to kind of justify coming in and having like the tiny little, which it's all really cool, but to me, there's a reason I've never brought one in. You know, people love that stuff. They eat it up. I see the benefit of it in those situations. It's a great like travel kit type of a thing. Depending on what you're doing, it could be extremely useful. But for me, like that's only going to do so much on the side of the road, right? Like I would need more. And the number of bits included, while fantastic, wouldn't really benefit me on the side of the road, right? This is kind of more of like a kitchen drawer, I think, that type of a thing, or like, you know, your kid's going off to college, you know, Sadie bought her first house, all that jazz. I think they're fantastic. But for me and where I'm at, I've just never been able to kind of swing it. It was very tempting because, again, it's a great price. But what I did to take myself from a 10% discount on third to a home run is this. I bought a second baseball. And yeah, that one was free. But this one right here, by buying it, I'm able to come in and I got myself an extra 5%. So essentially, this was a superfluous purchase, but by spending the $7 or whatever it was for the baseball, I saved tons of money on the rest of the stuff. So it sort of made sense. It's cool. I can have one sitting over here on display. My nephew's more of a basketball person, and that said, this is legit. This is full size if you're curious. Obviously I'm right-handed, so 4-seam splitter. All right. I pitched and played third base, so yeah, baseball used to be my favorite sport. I was a big always liked the Rangers. You know, Nolan Ryan was there when I was little, and then mid 90s I was like a big Mariners fan because of Ken Griffey Jr. And so I would stay up late. That's when they played at the Kingdome. They had Randy Johnson, Edgar, and Tino Martinez. They were on the same team. Then the strike came and screwed everything up, and Tino went to the Expos that don't even exist in Montreal anymore. But yeah, I mean, I ate baseball, lived, breathed, and everything. Played baseball all the time. Entertained myself for hours, and then I'd stay up late and watch Mariners games on ESPN. There was always the second half of the doubleheader. That's like when Griffey's, yeah. I won't go into it and bore you, but I thought, you know, that's not really a dumb thing to do, to pay a little for a baseball and get a bigger discount on expensive things. So that's what I did. And like I said, to the best of my knowledge, that works. So if you get in here and you're just like me and you're like, hey, you know, I want that long ratchet, I actually need a pair of Cobras for the truck, and then I don't do anything SAE, I want the metric Veras, and you're like, man, I wish I could get an extra 5%. If you're already getting the baseball, right, because it's free, buy the t-shirt. If you hate the t-shirt, you hate blue, you can't wear white, whatever, the baseball's like $7, and you'll save more than you spent. So again, I don't tell you all this stuff. I don't make a dime. You know, if the KC Tool moves all the Raglan t-shirts, it doesn't do anything for me. But I tell you about it because it's what I did, and I did it because I determined it was the best buying strategy. It saves me the most money. So that's what we have. And the bottom line, the most important thing, again, I wanted to highlight this again. July 1st through September 30th. You've got the entire set here, plus the Raglan tee, plus the baseball. If you just like, man, I love that baseball, KC Tool's great to me, I don't need anything, I have all the German tools, I'm going to buy the baseball. You can do that. So there you go. This is the seasonal. Again, I could be wrong on that, but I think it actually did bump the discount up, the top tier to the home run. So yeah, there should be something you want or need, or maybe just like, oh, I can justify that this way. So there you go. I wanted to get this out as soon as possible so you can take advantage of this. Again, if I record this now and release it in Valentine's Day 2025, that doesn't benefit you any. So it's fresh, it's new. Hopefully you cashed in and got your orders turned in on July 4th, cashed in on the Independence Day bottle opener. If you're curious, if you're like, man, this handle is fantastic. I love the thing. I'd like to get some screwdrivers like that. Too bad they don't make them. They do. And, right here, you see me grab this in the 3K all the time on the bench. These were the ones that I started testing before my thumb was crushed by a bandsaw. So yeah, I mean, if you like this, and this is kind of one of the perks of bottle openers, I'm not like a huge fan of paying for them, going in and buying one of every bottle opener to see what screwdriver set you'd like better. I'm more of the mindset you should buy standalone screwdrivers and then be like, well, hey, this is my favorite. Or, I think I like the Wera. Go that route. But for some people, like if you collect the bottle openers or you think they're cool or you use them and string them out all over the place, this is a great way to get a feel for the handle. Instead of having to buy a set of screwdrivers, you can come in and you can be like, man, this, I would totally roll with a set of screwdrivers like this. Make it happen. If you're curious, Stahlwille's 3K line right here, very unique. I don't know if they have a bottle opener in the 3K line. They probably do. It's a German company. But if not, maybe that's one they'll have in the future. But again, every Independence Day, anything you buy, it could be expensive, it could be cheap. KC Tool is a way of thanking you and celebrating Independence Day. You get a bottle opener. And like I said, the seasonal, it's very cool. They've had some great deals. My favorite seasonal to date so far, at least that I can remember, is the Stahlwille one. But this one right here, you've got a very diverse selection, and I personally kind of like the way they tiered it. It's very cool, very fitting for the season in baseball. But just the ability to come in and be like, man, I always wanted to try the forged wire strippers. Well, if you're already getting your metric tool check, you're like, oh, well, I don't know. Well, these are discounted a little bit, but then you get 5% off and a free baseball. You just kind of go to town that way. So, yeah, that's about all I've got for you. Again, hopefully this helps you out, spreads the word early. Again, you got plenty of time on this, especially if you see this now. I mean, you can sit there and wait on it. If you have to gain funds to justify the HPL or something, you got through the end of September. October 1st, we're going to have a brand new seasonal. Hopefully it's a good one too. It should be the fall 2024, and then we'll get winter 2025 in January. But yeah, this worked out well for me because, again, it kind of bothered me knowing that the HPL was out there just kind of rearing its head. It wasn't like complete. It was so close to being complete, but it wasn't. And this was a great green light to make that happen. Hopefully the Raglan's good. I'll get that thing inside and check her out. And yeah, that's what I got for you. Again, let me know your thoughts on the seasonal in terms of how unique it is. If you're like, hey, baseball, if you could care less. Similarly, just what your thoughts are with the tiered discounts. Again, I actually really thought that was neat the way Harbor Freight did that. Basically ratchet your way up to 25% discount if you buy 4 or more items. It's kind of what they did here, and you get a free baseball. So yeah, what if this catches your fancy? What do you need? What do you already have? Here's the part that sucks. As you get 120 KC tool hauls deep into things, there's great deals, there's neat tools of the day all the time, but it's like, man, I already have that. So I can only use so many sets of L keys, right? If it was a stupid good deal, maybe we get it and throw it in the car for a rainy day. But we're getting to the point, we have some really cool stuff. Took a while, 5 plus 6 years or so, but over time you build up some really neat tools coming from a guy, you know, that just had USA Craftsman stuff growing up through college and everything. So, yeah, it's been fun, but that is the downside. You know, like if they put this extendable Hazet on Tool of the Day, I'm like, man, it's a great deal. And then what's the problem? Well, you have it. So you can't cash in on the deal. You just have to be like, well, hey, I got it before the inflation screwed everything up, and hang your hat on that. But super cool seasonal, in my opinion. Again, bottle opener ship has sailed until next year, but you'll get the free bit of thanks. Anything over 75 gets you free freight. Clear the $100 threshold, you get the mystery sticker. It'd be a good time to start collecting those. Similarly, like let's say there's a lot, like let's say you're just discovering German tools or something. I would advocate, if you're going to clear the $100 threshold, like if you're going to spend $380, why not do 2 orders or 3 orders and get yourself 2 bonus stickers? Right? I was sitting here, I was stacking some other things I've been waiting on. I've been waiting on a couple things, they're just not, like, never in stock. But I was putting some other things on there, and I literally stopped myself, and I was like, wait, you know, I'm still going to hold off because I could get another mystery sticker. Seems stupid to some people, I'm sure, but it kind of makes sense to me, so I'm going to roll with it. But super happy with everything. Again, if you need more information on this HPL, let me know. Very, very good balance in it, in my opinion. And again, this thing is tried and true to me. I'm a huge fan of the HP line from Hazet. It's not the slimmest head, it's not the most trim thing, it's not going to be like your Coke and Z tight spaces. This is just a crack your skull open, get work done type of a ratchet. It's right there on the high end with a 90 tooth. The performance is great, at least by my standards, and it's strong. I've never in my life reefed on something and thought, oh, you know, that ratchet's starting to give. It's a powerhouse. It's held up to its name. And again, this little guy right here is what started it all for me. Granted, at this time, they didn't have the quick release, or I might have gone that way to begin with. But the 916 HP, man, there is a reason it is an essential German tool. I don't say that as the dude on YouTube. I say that referencing the essential German tool section of KC Tool. But this thing is fantastic. If you love it but you want a little more leverage, this is available for the picking. For everyone else, you got 9 tools to choose from, a t-shirt and a baseball. Can't go wrong. So whatever you want to talk about, feel free. With that said, man, it gets so late so fast. Time flies when you're having fun, I suppose. So I'll quit rambling. Let me know your thoughts, anything you want to talk about, discuss. If you think it's a great deal, bad deal, what people should do, buying strategies. If you'd love to see a football, if you want to see a basketball, if you think they got to do a golf ball and tees now, or if you're fine with it stopping here, maybe you're a tennis person, pickleball. I mean, hey, you know, they've opened a can of worms here, Pandora's box. You know, when you do things cool, you know, then everything else is either disappointing or you have to break the barrier, right? So if you've got any ideas, if you think like, man, you know, this is super cool, you know, I don't even really like baseball, but man, what if they did football for fall 2024? Here's what I'd do. Leave a comment. You know, maybe they'll see it and they'll be like, oh, hey, you know, that's actually not a bad idea. And you listed out some good tools. You want to be super specific, you know, and you want 12 tools available for fall 24 with your free football. Granted, a football, unless they do something mini, which would kind of be cool. Some people might want full size. Maybe you could buy full size and get a free mini. I don't know. But if you're like, man, we got to have, you know, like 11 different tools this time and maybe a jersey. Throw your ideas out. Who knows, you know? I mean, they have to come up with this stuff somehow, and if they read some random person's comment on the internet, they're like, man, this Edward guy is a genius. He listed out, like, the perfect tools and, you know, the jersey. Let's roll with it. So, you never know what's going to happen, including a Cuttix falling. But with that said, thanks so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned a little something particularly. You got until September 30th to make any of this happen. If anything's out of stock, if you didn't know, you can purchase it. It won't impact anything. If you need your stuff, let's say that the HPL is like super long lead time and you really want your Stahlwille wrenches, tell them, hey, could you partially ship that? If you don't care, just, hey, at some point randomly in the future, you're going to get some cool tools in the mail that you might have forgot you bought. But, with that said, I do hope you enjoyed. LoneStarMopars.com is the website. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all three at Lone Star Mopars. With that said, if you have not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. The sooner we can get me to the 10K mark, the sooner I can start releasing all this Snap-on stuff I've been recording for like over a year now. I would love nothing more than to mine back in my archives and be able to offload those things and get to newer stuff. But if you haven't subscribed, again, that's what you can look forward to there at 10K. If you jump your Charger across the creek, ring the bell. YouTube just might notify you. We got new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. With that said, thanks again for watching, and I hope I catch you back here for more from the shop. Bonus content out here, working hard, trying to find a thumbnail that's cool. And, I told you I would try to remember. Showcase this, the new streamlined stealth Stahlwille logo versus the old one. What do you think? What is your pick? Which one do you like better? I totally see what they were going for. I can see what they were doing. It's modern, it's sleek, stealthy. I just love that. Like, that to me is super cool. But let me know your thoughts. With that said, I'm going to wrap up, get some more stuff done, and I hope I catch you back for more from the shop.